that. Right. Danny from Uproar Comics, we're going to go. I've got these questions here, but we'll just sort of, we can come and go. They're only for me. If I can't think of anything to say, I'll just jump in one of them. So, for those of us that don't know, tell us a bit about Uproar Comics.
Uproar Comics is, I suppose it's about 4 years old now, and it started off with me and Kevin, my mate, just blocked one night talking about how I've got this story and he was an artist.
That's the best idea stuff.
Oh, exactly. A couple of drinks in and the loose tongue, goes. And we thought, let's actually do something with this. And at the same time, the City of Culture was coming about. So we thought we'll try and align ourselves with it. And eventually we didn't really. We found out it was like, no, we don't need funding and stuff like that there. So we went rebellious on it. It was like, we'll just do it on our own back. And we done that, and we said we actually the City of Culture. Culture is another word for a viral growth.
Yeah, okay.
So that's where some of the inspiration had come, and then we wanted to do a story about our own hometown because there's plenty of characters and stories, and so we produced Zombicide, and it kind of sort of took off, and then a couple of issues down the line, we sacked our jobs and just went, let's do this full time, and went hell for leather just really, and sort of haven't looked back since. And we've got like I don't even know, probably about 20 publications under the Uproar banner now, and we do loads of workshops and stuff like that there, and we'll be at the con, and you might know us from TV. I do a cartwheel over the Peace Bride. Yeah. I've never loved that down. Everybody knows about that. Like.
Yeah. What about, you were saying you quit the job after the first couple of issues. What were you doing while you were, what was the day job before you started?
You know what, before we even started, I was working in Manchester.
Okay.
And so I decided I'm going to come back and try and do something. And I came back and got a job in the bookies.
Okay.
So I was working in the bookies, sitting daydreaming every day.
Yeah.
Going, get me out of this fucking place. Sorry, I shouldn't curse.
Oh, sorry. Curse away.
Fuck. But yes, so it was sort of like, we have to get out of these mundane sort of jobs. Yeah. So the only way we could do it was like, just cut it off and we'll have
you were
to
working
survive,
full time and then doing it in the evenings and weekends.
Yeah, pretty much. And so it sort of started to become more time needed. Yeah. So it was just like, let's try this,
Yeah, give it a
burn
shot.
it out in about 3 weeks' time or so on. But
that was the
we had to try it, so it was good. And then happy days, I have to say, thanks to all the fans, they literally made us do it then.
Yeah.
With threats, with stuff like, sort of
continue this.
It was a 2D, a boy came up, he was like, oh, so you, I'll not put out any spoilers there, but a specific thing happened. He said, and then you left it for 6 weeks to get out the next one. I was like, sorry. I was like, no, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
I was scared.
He was being serious.
Yeah. Swear to God.
That's what you want. That's the sign of having a good thing going, is whenever people, they're literally
clamoring
at the doors and sending you death threats to get the next one out.
Yeah. Well, it was maybe like, let's not do this, people are going mental, but it was like, it was good.
That was a good way of people going mental. Yeah, exactly. So it was Zombicide was the first one?
Zombicide was the first one. We'd done I'll tell you what it was. It was 2D Festival. The guy who runs that, Dave Campbell, he had a printing press, and we done promo for the actual 2D Festival, and he says, I'll pay you to do the flyers, and we're all, no, don't pay us, print our book. So it was like, instead of getting 40 quid or something, it was go print it. So they printed us 100 books, and they sold out.
Nice.
And the printing press was on the building at 3, so he went and printed more for us that day.
And you could just set them on the table, and
they were still warm, so it was literally hot off the press,
just
from downstairs, bring them up, and we sold more again, and we were like, hey, we've got a good thing here, should I go in? That was like a promo version.
Yes, that wasn't the finished
article.
article.
The first 7 pages, if I was completely honest, and then we started to put books together with a similar vein, whereas there's nobody else actually getting published in Northern Ireland through comics or anything like that there. So it was like, no, we'll publish other people. We'll do our half of the book and give the other half to other people. And loads of people have actually come through now who have done comics, and they've like I couldn't even tell you the amount of numbers. Probably 4 or 5 people working on every book.
Yes.
You know, for their half, like, and there's been 12 books now. So
yeah,
there's loads of people that come through.
So yeah, you've diversified then from just creating to then others. You're publishing for others.
It was sort of like a platform because
yes.
we never had it.
Yes,
you know?
Yes. So you're helping those guys.
Yeah.
So is it like they just come to you and say, "Here's our promo"?
Essentially, we ask for like submissions.
Yes.
4 pages.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of keep it in the zombie theme.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so because that's what people want
that's
to buy.
Your,
zombies, how they want to buy it, and they don't want to get.
Yes.
You know, keep it all the same.
Uproar is they know that that's what your thing is.
Yeah. Well, our main thing, anyway, what we're known for, and essentially, I'll read the scripts now, and then I'll more likely give feedback, and be all here. I can get an artist to draw that, or an artist going on.
Oh, so you literally accept like manuscripts then, and and then you link that with an artist.
Come up with artists and stuff like that. There. So it's kind of like a wee bit sort of project planner or whatever like that there.
But you don't even need like a finished article. You just need the idea and
a lot of the people who we actually meet. Some of them might come through submissions, but a lot of them are actually people who we actually talk to face at conventions and stuff. Come on, show us their work, and like I like it. Give it a shout.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
So they're on your
people
your
who are looking to actually break into comics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then we got Rory Coleman, who was a guy who we took over on Zombie side, and like, and he's actually drawn for Turok and stuff like that now. So I think what we set out to do was help people get published. So because if you go to publishers, have you ever published before?
Yeah.
And you go, no, they don't care.
Yeah.
So you can be
how do you get the first published?
It just gets a bit more feedback.
Yeah.
Going from them or whatever, and so from what Rory has done, he's stepped up, and he's probably he's a really good artist. So he's going to be snapped up by some of the big guys very soon. Like. Yeah. And then a couple other people will come along, especially writers. There's a few writers who are doing really well. Recently, I worked with Glenn Matchett. He's from Belfast. And he's a really good writer. And Mike Lynch, he's actually from Galway, and these are all people you meet at the convention. So like, so that's where just all the guys, but bubbles up, you know, and happens, like, you know.
Yeah, you make the connections, and that leads on to the next thing.
Like, you can give us a shout through emails, but it's always nice to put a face and stuff like that. Yeah. You know, the actual people when you're doing creative work with them, like, it's nice. Yeah, and for people looking to submit work, it's just through the Uproar Comics website. Submissions at uproarcomics.co.uk.
Yeah, we'll put that in the show notes. Anybody, and it's from artists then and
artists and writers. Yeah, it's kind of just sort of like I can't promise anything, and like if there's like a good story there, it'll probably take priority over most other things. But we're running a small business, so we're just trying to keep up with the amount of submissions there as well that's coming in. So it's hard. Like
I'm sure if you're sitting trying to critique them, and there's more and more coming
you're actually supposed to be doing an art
your
project,
own work.
You know, exactly.
That's what you signed up for, sort of thing. I suppose. Like it's
unfortunately at the same time. It's sometimes it's hard to give people critique when you don't know them, because you don't know how they're going to take it as well.
Exactly, that's one of the big things.
Yeah. But I have to say, everybody we work with is sort of like, I think a few of them I've went, oh, you could change that, there's no more. So
yeah, that's what you want.
Everybody, that collective sort of thing where one can sort of edit the hours. Because actually, it was actually with Alfie Gallagher and Glenn Matchett, I proposed an idea in one of the wee stories they done, and Glenn was all, aye, no more, but Alfie was all, no, not changing it. I was like, fair enough, if you're strongly involved in it, I'm happy. You know? Yeah, you're only giving your advice. Yeah, I suppose it's whenever somebody has put their heart and soul into it, and you know it's their baby. At the end, I think they were right, so that's it was all good. Like, you know? Yeah, but if you ask for somebody's advice and then you know you don't want to take it, or you don't, you realise, oh, I didn't want that advice. You know, one of the best pieces of advice I've ever heard is don't listen to anybody's advice. Yeah, and you don't even have to listen to that, like so. But a very, very good bit of advice. Just do whatever you want to do, man. Whatever makes you happy. So you said you were in the boogies for working up until you decided that you had a good thing going. Yeah. What about whenever you were coming through school? Was that I done engineering. Yeah, I done engineering, came out and was working in a it was a mechanical and electrical servicing, which ironically enough involved drawing, which I don't do now.
Yes.
You know, I do writing.
Writing was...
but it was all more architectural sort of
yes, that kind of thing. So there's nothing from school that you'd ever would have said. It's like...
The only thing I could ever think about it would tie together was I loved English.
Yeah.
Like, and I wasn't even that good at it.
Yeah.
I was more into like sort of going out and
getting pissed,
partying and stuff. If I was completely honest, and I never really had that much of passion. But I remember me and my mate sort of coming in early and being, "Oh, did you read Macbeth last night?" I was like, "You're supposed to read page 30." I was like, "I read page 60 and it was class." And all. So passion for stories was always there. Like, and I remember, I think it was in primary school, I read a time travel story for one of my homeworks and stuff like that there. So
it was the creativity was there.
It was always on for the stories. Like, and even like my dad, everybody would say I'd probably take after my dad and that, and it was he'd be all, my mum would be all, my dad, go on tell that one, and my dad was always the storyteller.
Yes,
you know, so
was, where you got it from.
Yeah, I took a bit of that from my dad maybe.
Yeah, and do you think that it was like what stopped you from going on and doing English? Why, like, as opposed
probably
to...
what stopped me from going on with English is that I had no idea what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
you know?
It was just one of them things you just kind of stumble in. Oh yeah, I'll do engineering.
It's kind of like one of those Northern Irish, like, you know, go get a trade.
Yeah,
wanna them ones.
Exactly.
You know? I was listening to me ma.
Yeah. there's no money in
comics. There's not. She's right.
Yeah. But I was the same. Like, I did computers, and like now, as long as I could get on the internet, like, I would have no want to do anything with computers. You know, but you don't know what you want to do, so you have to do something.
Exactly. Because I done computers for a living. I couldn't actually. I'm not that tech savvy at all. I think everything I learned out of date anyway. Now, like, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You have to. You can't do something like that and expect you to just, oh yeah, it's fine, I'm gonna get a job now, without having to continually learn. Whereas writing's writing, art's art. You know. You're okay.
Well, you have to be continually reading, like, you know, and
that's
drawing, like.
Yeah.
And I would say to anybody that's even like talking about submissions there, if anybody actually wants to write, the best thing to do is read everything.
Yes, read outside your genre. Yeah.
Like the last book I picked up there was James Joyce, Ulysses.
Man, I got about 2 chapters in. It's heavy going.
It's heavy going, but there's something different about it. There's no other book like it.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I think it's 3 times I've tried to get through it now.
I know. Well, I've actually sat it down there for a few weeks there now. So
take a wee breather.
But I have to pick it up again just because just work gets in the way sometimes. But read as much.
Yeah, I would always try my not a tip even, but I would try to intersperse, like, I'll read, say, like V for Vendetta, and then I'll read, like, I read Steve Jobs' autobiography, and then I read what was that one? Dante's Inferno, and then I'll read, like, just a normal, you know, novel, and try to do it so I'm not reading.
Well, I'd probably have about eight books
on the go,
and it's sort of like not to bring it down here, but when I'm going to a toilet, I was like, what would I like to read today?
Yeah, you pick whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I don't feel as if you should be reading something just for the
sake of it.
It's something you want to read. And I probably have given up a lot of books because they just haven't get my attention.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not a completist either. If it's not good, there's no point in wasting
time on it. I'd rather, like, I'm not going to read that. I'll read this other one. There's probably a few books there that I probably should have read, but it was just like, no, I'm not reading that because I'm going to read X-Men first.
Yeah. Lemony Snicket said something about the likelihood is that I'll die beside a pile of things I was supposed to read. That's totally my life. Like, it just, you see, like, the bookstore next door is an absolute, like, a godsend and a disaster, because you're everything. Oh, I could read that. Yeah.
Well, the girlfriend too. She would read a lot and write too, and I would buy her books. She's always had to stop buying books, and I can't remember who. She got a quote of somebody, and it was like, you should always buy the book you're going to read, even if you're never going to read it. It's always there for if you ever want to pick it up.
That's it. I like that one.
You buy books and don't read them. As long as they're there, because that's thing, you're going to pick one up someday.
Exactly. Whenever, like you say, it's like watching a movie. You're like, what am I in the mood for? And then you look at, all right, I'm in the mood for, you know, this. I've started into the Game of Thrones. I haven't
seen the new season there.
It's unreal, but it takes a long time to get into. But like, just into the first book, about halfway through, and loving it. But you know, I have them all bought, and it's that height, and I looked it up and counted up. It's 1.8 million words in the series. It's like, man, that's like Ulysses. It's a daunting thing to start into. Yeah, it's crazy big. Like the last, I think the Dance of Dragons has like 500,000 words or something by itself, and it's nuts. Like, but you know, I'll read the first one probably, and then I'll go and read, you know, something completely different.
Have a wee break.
Yes, yeah.
Because like I tell you what, even like because we were talking about Watchmen there, I would always come back to read Watchmen at least like once a year or something. Just sort of blast through it.
Everybody has that book.
It's sort of the, you know, you'd leave the first book for a while and read a couple more, then come back. It's like coming back to, oh, there's the old bodies there. You know, going back and right here. Yeah, what's cracky?
And you get to enjoy it all over again.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the blurb in the back says something along those lines. It's, you know, the book that you have to read, and if you've already read it, it's time to read it again. You know, and you're just like, all right, well, you know, fine.
All right, then. So if you say so.
Yeah, exactly. You wrote obviously as a hobby, you know, all the way through from whenever you were young, just up until.
Yeah, bits and pieces. I would actually say, I actually briefly mentioned to you there about Swamp Thing.
Yes.
It was actually, I love Watchmen, love Alan Moore, and then read Swamp Thing, and kind of like one of those ones where I was like, when you read Watchmen and stuff like that, I was like, oh, I was affected by it, and I was like, I want to do that to people too.
Yes.
But didn't know how to do it, and then when I read Swamp Thing, it was kind of like, you know, this man who didn't know who he was, what he was, or what he could do, and he was going to try and find out what he could do. I took the same
that just spoke to you.
Yeah, it spoke to me, and I took that and was like, I want to affect people and make them think and do something similar with Almer's doing. If I can do it to one person, I'll be happy. So I'll start writing, and I started writing wee bits and pieces of everything, but then sort of honed it on the comics because I kind of a visual person. Like, even if I'm not an artist, I'm a visual. I'll talk about the visuals. Like, when I was working with Kevin and stuff, who draws always, I'd be talking about the visuals, and then he'd be sort of talking about the context within the visuals.
Yes.
And when we're like sort of mashing scripts and stuff like that there, so it was like you're like, you know, visual,
for a writer.
It's like I will.
But that obviously made it easier for him then.
Exactly. Well, sometimes it makes it harder because he sees someone else.
Oh well, yes.
You know? So there's always
true.
that.
It's very subjective, I suppose. Yeah. But whenever you're writing it, that's what you have in your head.
Yeah.
And
I think for comics, it's always a good thing to have. And at some point, I would love to have I'd love to be a head writer on a TV series.
That's kind of like be the end game.
Maybe not even the end game, just like a more of a foray.
Just to give it a go,
Yeah, I want to, like, because like I'm a massive Lost fan. Like,
it was very good.
Yeah, and even all these naysayers out there who don't like Lost, especially the end. I love the end.
Yeah, like there's a lot of shows. Do you know David Goyer?
Yeah,
the writer. Like apparently he just whenever he was doing. Do you remember Flash Forward?
Yeah.
I loved it, but the thing that kind of took me out of it was that he literally just wrote a couple of seasons at a time. So whenever he was asked in interviews, like I think it was the writer's strike, it kind of lost steam, and then it didn't really get restarted again. He was saying, something about whatever happens, and he was like, I've got up to season 5 written, so we'll just kind of see what happens after that. And you're kind of thinking, does he have the end in his mind, what he wants to happen, and he's working up to that, or has he literally no idea and he's just making it up as he goes along?
Well, I'd say any good story consists of 3 things. One's a start, one's a middle, and every good story needs a good end.
Yes.
So I would say a lot of writers know where they want to take stuff.
Yeah.
If they're like, especially in something like that there, like he has to know just because the accountants want to know that you've got it there. Like, so like
that you're not just going to be like, I'll just keep us going for another.
Yeah, because like every story that you ever come up with, sort of like obviously there's a definitive end that we know we want to get there.
Yes.
And it's about milestones along the way, but we have fun with it. Along the way, let it grow organically too.
Yes,
like we realised that there was some stuff happening in just sort of like current affairs or whatever, that we're like, let's start
put that in,
filtering that in a wee bit too, so it becomes a wee bit organic too. Like,
yes, so that's a great way to do it.
Yeah, I think it's the best way to do it, really.
Yeah, with a long form medium like that, you can't do that. You know, it's not like you're writing something and you have this deadline. You obviously have your deadlines per issue, but then after
it's a bit crazy sometimes. It's over like kind of the last one. before the last one was 6 months before we even got it out, like, you know, because business gets in the way, and
yes, you have to do your own thing as well, but people clamoring at your door and sending death threats.
Oh, I every day.
It's just normal life.
But I've done a more recent comic there called Conundrum, and the whole story was actually birthed out of the last moment of the story and then fleshed out backwards.
Yes, like a mystery novel.
I literally knew what the end was, because it's kind of like a philosophical sort of point, and then I attached characters to the aspects, and then I was like, oh right, and threaded out what each character would be like to get to that eventual point. And so it was like, from that I realised that, because that's one of the oldest stories I've ever conceived, and from then on it was like, I am always going to have an end no matter what I do for anything.
But that was the first time you'd actually started from that end point.
But that was from the end point, and we've only got the first issue of that there, right? And it's sort of like three different aspects of I'm going to talk mad here. I've got a concept about triangles.
Yes.
Everything's made up of three.
Okay.
And it's sort of like, your speed, time, distance.
Yes.
One relates to the other, and I put things into triangles. Like magic, religion, and science are all sort of aspects of you. Magic divided by science is religion.
Yes.
For a mad
you put the point on the triangle, and that.
So they all, and that sort of, that literal science, magic, and was the basis of the end.
Yes.
And what happens when they all meet. So
I like the sound of that. Very intriguing to me.
That was the, and then I created the three characters around each individual aspect, sort
of the triangle.
And pulled it out.
I see.
Yeah.
I like this.
So mad triangles. I like my triangles.
And that one's, what did you say it was called?
Conundrum.
And
it's all a mystery, like, sort of the whole thing. So that's hence the conundrum, and it ends with one question.
Yeah.
And
the conundrum.
I'll tell you what the question is. Like,
just have to see. Would you, like, obviously that one you started from the end, work back. If you said you would plot your middle kind of as you go along, obviously with current affairs.
That one maybe a wee bit more milestones.
Yes,
like, these are the plot points that I need.
Yeah, but you can work towards those.
Working with the second issue, it's like, oh well, I need this to happen, so I have to create a character for that. So it's still that organic thing, but each individual issue is a specific point they had to get to progress the story. Like,
it's it's a standalone kind of thing.
Whereas in Zombie Side is a wee bit more, oh well, that's cooler, we'll do that. And then we'll do the next one next, sort of thing. So we have that sort of playability with it to Zombie Side. Because it has that more like sort of horror, fun, sort of thing.
More to play with. So do you always end each issue like on a cliffhanger? Is there like
I think there's one issue where it sort of isn't as much of a cliffhanger, and it's just people driving away. But you're left going, they're driving that thing. Oh my god! So it's not an overt cliffhanger, but you're left. It's like a somber ending.
You expect it to be something else, but it's not.
But most of the time it's like, that comes on my noise. You're like, wait and see, because that's the nice thing about comics. That's why you want to pick up the next one, because you're like, what the fuck's going to happen next?
And you go and talk about it with your mates and
the worst thing about it is I want to know what people are like sitting talking about it, like when they read the last Zombies Zombie Site issue, and sort of just to go like, I'd love to be a fly in the wall. There.
Do you have like a forum or like a message board or anything on the website?
We did have a forum. It was just, it sort of wasn't like, I don't know, it just wasn't there.
I
think maybe it was too small at the start. Not active as much as you would like. But on Facebook and stuff, like, people,
you get a good discussion.
When we did the issue, the last time we got, it was the 12th issue, I think it was, and a couple of guys who are hardcore followers came on and give them like a sentence review sort of thing of the issue. Oh man, the one I remember was I was reading the first page and I was like, oh my god. I read the second page and I was like, oh my god, and then when I got near the end I was like, oh my fucking god. And I read out this lettering in capitals and I was like, well, that's good.
That's the reaction we're going for.
Yeah, so
couldn't be argued that. That's what they're going for.
We're gonna have to put that in the front of all of them or something.
And that, yeah, on the blurb and the wee reviews bit.
Yeah, dude, I think I would have to pick up a comic if that was the blurb on it.
Exactly. You guys were the Invest NI poster boys.
Invest NI poster boys, yes.
Was that you just applied for that as
I think
normal?
it was actually the Go For It program.
Yes,
we done.
It's starting again now.
Yeah. And done that, and then like 2 years later they'd be all, oh, we give you a lot of money, didn't like you see these are, and we're like, fuck off. So we were never in talks with Invest NI or anything until they were like, oh, can we do an ad about Jesus?
Yeah.
And it was like, alright, have a nice exposure.
Yeah.
You know?
Dead on.
So, we didn't think it was going to be that big though, to be fair.
Yes.
We thought it was going to be like,
see, yeah.
But it's like, the first time I seen it was actually, it was a Champions League final.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my god, that's strange. Like, and then I've actually got a picture in my phone, I think, I was looking at it. I was on a stag do with a friend, or like a whole lot of friends. Oh, my phone's dead. And we came back from Dublin and got off the bus, and everyone was like, and I was like, what? And I turned around and my head was about that size at the bus stop.
On the poster at the bus stop? Nice.
And then me, Kevin, and Michael Arbuthnot, who actually drew Conundrum, we were all going over to it was Leeds, I believe.
Right.
And the airport, there was my head was probably the size of that wall there. It was huge. It was
like a
massive, huge
15-20 foot.
Easy. And so I was like, it's been fun because we're all getting the pictures and all.
Yeah, just having a laugh with it.
Yeah.
Was that whenever you'd done the promo and it was kind of taken off? What was the sort of time scale with you going for on the Go For It program?
That was, I think. Actually, it was Kevin that actually done the Go For It program, and that was, must have been just sort of like not long. It was only like a 6-week course or something.
Yeah.
And like an hour a week or something. And that was quite earlier on. So I think that was essentially what got us some ones to print.
Yes.
Or issues.
Yeah. The money was to go towards getting it out there.
Product and stuff.
Yeah. Was that? Did they put you with mentors, or what was the?
It was like sort of like give you like 1 week where it was like an accountant came in and sort of helped you do
more the business side of it.
It's definitely more the business side where it's like sort of this is how you sort of put together business thing. And then you realise that that's one of the top of the iceberg. You have to learn it yourself. You have to
so they give you a start and say, here, look at this.
You're there to take their box.
Yes, that's,
you have to go in. It's
and
they give you the car, but you have to get your own diesel.
Yeah, there's nothing really comes for free like with them kind of things. And then did they say here's X amount of a loan at the end of it, or what was?
I think there's a bursary or grant or whatever, like 1,000 for doing the completion of the course or whatever that goes in the business and all that.
Yes, but it's obviously worth doing then with
It's definitely worth doing to get an idea. But just if you want to do something, just do it. Because like we would have some people come along, and especially like you ask people for their portfolios. It's like, I've done this for my GCSE, I've done this here for me, I've done this here. And I was like, what have you drawn outside of school? I don't care then. Sort of thing. It's to be really harsh. I don't care that you're doing for somebody else
to do it.
Exactly. It's a guy who's got like it's me all the schoolwork, but this is the stuff I've been doing for years and drawn, and the other day I was like, right, that's the boy that wants to do something like this.
I not that I have a vendetta against like formal education systems, but like that's
you're a rebel. Stop lying.
It's a disaster and needs a big change. Like especially like whenever anybody says, "Oh yeah, I'm going to go to university," why are you going to university? What are you going to do at university?
Because you're a conveyor belt.
Exactly.
On a conveyor belt. Like
thank you, Danny gets it.
I seen an animation. God, I cannot remember who he was, but he was the governor of education for the UK or whatever, and I'll not remember his name now at all, but they've done this animation about a talk that he's done, and it's amazing. And one of the lines that stuck with him is like, why are we all classed together by date of manufacture.
Yes.
It's all because there's people who learn at different rates. There's
Exactly.
people who learn in clusters or individuals and stuff like that. And when he was talking, like, I was like, why do we have a school system that's based on an industrial revolution like 200 years ago?
Man, like, don't get me started on the Industrial Revolution.
That's why we've got alarms in the morning. Everybody should hit the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, that's why your dad says you have to go and get a real job going. You know, you'll work there till you die, and you'll get your pay rise every year. No, that's not how it works.
It's a different word. I was at a business networking thing last night, and everybody was all like, sort of talking about how things are changing. And I was like, no, you don't even know how much it's going to change, because the 16-year-olds that are there now, they've got the internet.
They've
grown up with.
Yes.
And like kids now can just sort of go and do all this stuff on the computer that took me years to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's
bred into them. Like,
it's second nature to them.
Yeah.
First nature, I'll go.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
From when they're coming out, they're playing with iPads now.
Yeah.
You know, babysitters.
Yeah, my wee girl's 5, and she's not like, you know, on it all the time. But if you're sitting in the car or something, she'll be like, you know, can I play your phone? Yeah, dead on. And like, you know, you don't teach them how to do it. They just know.
They work it out.
But yeah, it's like you say, like 16-year-olds now that are the ones that are, you know, texting and whatever on Facebook constantly. You know, school is the only sort of creative outlet where they're told, you know, you have to do this, and that's the only, like, and then they go to school and it's like, you know, right, now what do you do? But they haven't sat down and actually enjoyed their free time to see what they want to do or what they like doing.
It's weird, but see the YouTubers, and if you are making videos, they are the next generation, and because they already are making videos and doing stuff that they want.
Yeah, well,
outside of school,
I've only just discovered like the like Twitch, like online gaming. Have you heard of this?
No.
It's like basically big like Call of Duty or whatever Counter-Strike tournaments, but like professional players will just go on, you know, this Twitch is like the kind of forum website for it, and you can just tune in and watch these big tournaments. But these players are like, you know, I don't know, from like 12 till whatever age, but that's what they do. They just go to the tournaments, and like, you know, there's maybe $250,000 for the winner of the
where's this?
This is the next big thing. I hadn't even heard of it, but whatever, there was like maybe it was Counter-Strike or Call of Duty, whatever it was, but the numbers, like, it's massive in like Asia, obviously, like, you know, they're just huge into their games, and everything has like a Twitch channel, and people just go and they pay like whatever subscription, or then you can pay per, you know, view if it's a big event. The last big tournament, I think, at the end of last year, the numbers were like equal to like the Super Bowl, the Stanley Cup, and the NBA Finals put together. Something ridiculous. And, you know, they're like, this is the future. Like, these kids are growing up, and, you know, they're like, I want to be a YouTube gamer, you know, or like, I want to be a blogger, I want to do, and they're like, fine. But kids are into it. It's going to happen.
And that's the thing, nobody's got any control or anything, which is the fun part and the scary part.
But do you know, I think that having a physical, you know, like a product, like a comic book, like that's the end game, though. Surely, like,
not anymore. That's the thing. Like,
maybe it's just me being old-fashioned.
Exactly. No, because like I'm 31 now, and I mean, like, the 16-year-olds they've been brought up with. I've had the exact same amount of time without a computer. Like, the first time I got a phone was when I was 17, 18.
Yeah.
When I was going off to university. Like, I was like, I must get a phone.
Yeah.
But people are brought up with phones now.
Yeah.
And so it's a whole different
ball game.
They've never, like, they're reading comics online on
their iPad. Yeah.
They don't care about physical products.
Yeah.
Although maybe in Ireland we've still got that mentality.
Yes,
stuff like that.
Stuck in the dark ages.
Exactly. Yes, we are. But not the 16-year-olds. They're stuck in the that age.
Yeah.
Like, so they're going to change everything for us. Like,
yeah. I think that definitely, that's going to happen. You know, it's only going to get more and more digitized until something will happen, you know.
Oh, like, the second dark age.
There'll be an EMP blast and everything will be wiped out.
Do you ever see Centurions? That's when magic comes back.
What it's going to be, yeah. But like, maybe not like a terrorist attack. It could be like an accident. You know, it'll not be like Fight Club where somebody will set out to, you know, wipe the
it'll be a large hadron collider and they'll set off something.
Yeah,
that's it.
They'll get. What's that movie? Southland Tales. You ever seen that?
Yeah.
They have they get a big like tide powered generator out in the sea to beam wireless electricity into this city, and there's a power surge, and it creates a rip in the space-time continuum.
Yes.
Sean William Scott gets sent into the future or the past, wherever it is, and he meets himself, and there's this, you know, massive, I don't know what, I can't remember what happens, but it's messed up. Justin Timberlake's in it, weird. But said, oh, your phone's going to give you cancer, you know. Who, like your Wi-Fi? What's your Wi-Fi doing? Like, you know, what's your wireless energy doing?
The girlfriend always tells me I'm not allowed to put my phone under my pillow.
Yes, because and
I be up always up.
Yeah, but do you really know?
Yeah,
you really know? Like 50 years, you know, what's that going to do to you in 50 years?
Exactly. Well, we don't know the long term. Like, because I remember people saying this, it's going to fry your brain and stuff like.
Yeah.
Like it's like microwaves, and people saying if you put the microwave, either your phone into the microwave and you ring it, that means it's melting your brain.
Yeah,
it's like they're different frequencies.
Yeah. I was done enough tests.
What is them smaller frequencies? Like maybe slow cooking, but still.
Yes, there's something happening. Like it's still a frequency that's going.
But your brain. I don't know the science or but they're there anyway. So
yeah, that's true. You're just.
And even our frying our heads, like frying our heads prehistorically as well, like, you know.
Well, that's true. There's nothing to do about it now.
No, we're all screwed. We've all got melted brains from the internet.
It's getting back to it with the you guys obviously have Uproar Comics on. Do you do it? Is there like a Kindle or like an iPad version?
Yeah, we do them like sort of in PDF downloads and stuff like that there, but we actually have like a Android and iOS versions of 4 the comics, all on the Comic site, and they've all got soundtracks and they're animated.
Class.
And so like some of them have like gamification, where it's like, you know, to get to the next bit you can fly out like in the week one, so you have to play like a wee plane.
That's very cool.
Asteroid thing, and they move on and stuff like so. There's like wee elements we're trying that there. It's completely honest. It's like it's hard to get out there because you need like a 6-figure marketing
team behind
it. Yeah, it's just loads of money just to even be competing with the big guys, like, really. Yeah. Which is it's hard to come across. Like, if you have any money like there, send that away, please. Well, I'll send you a free game. Yeah. But they are free. They actually go and play.
Yeah, so you can just and just search for Uproar Comics.
Uproar Comics. You can even go through the website. If you just go onto our website, uproarcomics.co.uk, there's just a wee tab at the top saying apps.
Nice. I'll check that out. And you obviously outsourced that then to like a
developer.
You did it yourselves?
We got funding through NI Screen actually to develop a new type of storytelling and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
tap into the digital comics because we knew Madefire was about to do something when we started. They got it out because they got the money to get the developers into it.
Yeah.
And we were trying to get on there first.
Yeah.
Essentially. And it's just well, you know, Madefire hasn't even done that well. Nobody likes moving comics.
Yeah.
Weird.
There's episodic like games I've seen come out. I haven't played any of them now, but I remember like Heavy Rain came out to the PS3 and everybody was like, you know, it's this kind of thing. You read the story, you watch the story, and you kind of decide what he's going to say or what she's going to do or whatever. But there's one now, and I can't remember. I've been trying to think what the name of it is, but it's based on fairy tale characters living in the real world.
Oh yeah.
And it's going to be released like just DLCs every so often. And
it's going to annoy me.
But yeah, that
I remember they're called Mondays, the normal people.
Yes. That's the
second one's the farm.
Yeah. Bringing laptops in there as well. But yes. Anyway, have you played it?
No, I haven't played it, but I do know what you're on. Isn't that the Telltale?
Yes, Telltale Games, yeah.
Yes. The Big Bad Wolf is the one they're doing.
Exactly. Yes, and he kills Red Riding Hood or something, doesn't he? And then he runs for it, or.
No, well, I haven't actually seen what in that, but in the comic, he's just cool. He's just that cool. He's the typical noir.
Yes.
Everybody's the Big Bad Wolf.
Yeah. It looks like a really good, like, just genre of games that hasn't, you know, been explored really in that depth before. There seems to be a lot of...
I think everybody's trying to find their feet with it.
As a new
genre. I just don't know what is going to be that... What's going to be the cast?
Yeah, the big thing
is get that right.
Yeah.
You know, so because we had a friend that, and animated comics, I just think I think people want to see an anime or cartoon before, and then comics you read in your own pace.
Yes.
So, but some people do like it. Some people loved it even better because it's got the atmosphere of the music and stuff like. Because we had it was a mate of mine, Nathan McIntyre, and he's done the music on it, and he knows what he's doing, sort of thing. Like, it's like, wow, this is class music going on. Like,
to pace it as and
like, because we've done the sci-fi one, and it was like we wanted it a wee bit classical. Actually, about a dubstep theme. So he's got this.
So you pitch it to him, and
he's got this like sort of classical music going on, like
in the background.
Really makes it sort of sci-fi,
into this
epic,
classical,
And so like, it's a whole different experience. Like, when you're reading it, there's like we don't actually have voices, but you read at your own pace.
But this is in the background. Okay. So it's still like it's
and
not
then
just...
I love the steampunk one. That's like
exactly. Industrial kind of
and it's class, pure class.
And you guys again, you just said, right, I want it to sound like this.
I pretty much thought the whole, like, we need certain scenes, we needed things.
So what was in your head whenever you're writing it, and you just described it?
Described it, and then even he would come along again. Like in all creative jobs, you want that about a lad.
Yes,
everybody's
back and forth,
pushing and pulling just to get it on the right spot, like, you know. So that's fun. It's fun doing the music, like, for comics, because it's not one thing you really...
that you would have thought of when you're starting out. Like, you're going to be doing industrial, conceptual steampunk music.
Exactly, And in everyone, it was like, get the angry boat in there, you know, like, brrr,
you have to have
because it's because no one knows how to use it.
Just throw it in there.
Of course.
So like that must be one of the main things for you, is you come in and every day is like something completely different. Like
the mates and the girlfriends are like, so what do you do? I don't know the day. We're going to see what has to be done. Like, so because I would have helped them a wee bit, even in the composing a wee bit, like, just sort of, but mainly directing. Because I would have helped them sort of like maybe get sound effects and stuff like that, more so that aspect. To some days I'm just sort of sitting on my own writing. Then there's other days I'm doing like workshops for kids. And telling them about storytelling, and then the next day I'm putting a letter on another comic. And then God knows what's next. You know, like we would do a lot of like sort of services for our businesses. So we would do a lot of like social content for them. So when they like recently we done one for a Thai restaurant in Coleraine. Whoosh. That's amazing. I love it, man. And they wanted to communicate the local people, in a sense, on their feeds, and to grow like the difference between Thai food and Chinese food. So it's communication and like getting across a message quick and fun, because it's in the comic strips.
And like kind of not like an infographic, but like just the comic book.
Style. It is. 3 panel strips. So like the first one we came up with, I guess class, like, you know, it's like Southeast Asia, you know, Thailand, and you see this girl getting off like one of those wee like boats and stuff like on the pier on Thailand, and going up there again. It's like, where's the best place to get a good Thai curry? And she said, I know, Coleraine. You know, sort of.
Very good.
And so people like it makes people smile. You make them remember.
Get a reaction, the emotion.
And then once you're engaging them, we created posters to give them information on what they sell, because nobody knows what, for example, the sticky rice is. It's like a ball of sticky rice. And it's different from rice.
Normal rice?
So it was just more of like try this. Because, you know, once in the north are all like, no, I'll be stew,
I'll just stick the fish and chips there.
Exactly. So it was all about trying to get them to try different things and stuff like that. So we would do a lot of like sort of work like that, and then like right now I'm doing a comic with it's it's like a diabetic awareness thing. It's actually in England, and it was actually a doctor from here who was like, oh, I know a guy who might be interested. And it was over Twitter actually, how we sort of actually first interacted and all.
Yeah.
And doing so it's to inform teenagers of how to control your, diabetes.
Okay.
And like it's only just sort of begun, and we're trying to do like sort of. I got a great group of people who are type 1 diabetic stuff who are giving us their experiences. And they're all geeks.
Yes,
so that's all good. Right? And they're all like, it's kind of like we're all mutants.
Yeah.
And we're the X-Men, and we have to take this like drug, they keep us normal. And here, and then the other one's talking about how they get hungry, and angry. And, when they're hypo and stuff like that. There, and it's like the Hulk.
Yeah,
we're gonna like create a story where it's all analogies for comic book stereotypes.
That's class.
For kids, they relate to the challenges of keeping
your insulin levels. Yeah, that's class.
So it is. It's like a lot of stuff is storytelling, but a lot of that is just information given.
And you're
visual literacy is the buzzwords that we use.
I like that. Yeah. So and you're obviously then
because that means you don't have to be as good as a reader just to get it as well. So it's like it opens up for anybody.
Yeah, especially like younger ones as well. It ticks all the boxes. Like
it kind of does.
You're not just gonna like, oh, here's a leaflet on diabetes. Like I don't want to read
Nobody wants to do it. But it was like, well, it's like somebody
being the Hulk.
Iron Man, like it's like it's constantly in their heart. They have
song
constantly trying to get them, and they have to. And it was like, that's cool. Making people understand in a way it's easier for them to engage and interact with it.
And that's in the works.
That's just like in the last few weeks there. It's sort of like we're going to do that there. So it's all fun stuff. Like, but it's tailoring it is the hard thing. Like, I can sort of fire something together, but when you want it to hit specific points that's actually going to do well. To help somebody, like again, just crack out tonight. I'm going to this launch of a comic in the Black Box in Belfast, which was Andrew Fitzsimmons, who wanted to talk about his experiences with cancer, and we started scripting a story, and unfortunately he passed away during the scripting, but his family knew that he wanted to do this. I got close enough with him for those levels of like met him and talked to him. Because we were talking about quite dark and deep things.
Obviously.
And it was like, this is just so worthwhile. So we all persevered and just off our own back on free time, just let's do this, and we created a comic. And we got donations and stuff like that there to get it printed, so that's getting launched, and it's amazing because the main point is life doesn't stop just because you got cancer.
Exactly. You gotta keep
and it actually goes into the challenges he faced and realizing that. And so it's for people who read it, they just got emotional because they knew somebody who went through something or something. That's the worst thing about it is like we all know someone who's probably passed away cancer, and never mind just passing away. Like we've all lost somebody, and like sort of seeing how they dealt with it and how you can deal with it if you like that term is palliative. It's terminal. So we know. There's no
there's a deadline.
There's no point letting it get done. So it's like, if we can do all this informal stuff, it's worthwhile. That's my bag.
Exactly.
That's what I'm gonna do.
I think it was Richard Branson said, if you're not helping people, you shouldn't be in business. Like that's it's fine people are going out and making money for themselves and doing a good job, whatever they're doing, but whenever your job is to help other people, like you say, joking about there's no money in comics, but whenever you see people like
again, there's not.
Just to reiterate the fact, there's no money in but like in here, so we're like, you only art shop and stuff dead on, but like whenever we went up to the end of the year show in the art college, people were like, look at this is what I made with your sketchbooks, and this is I got this and blah blah, and this is I got these materials and was able to make this and stuff.
Actually
they got a merit in their thing because they were able to come in and get the stuff and do the whatever, and they could have gone somewhere else and got it, but we feel like we're actually helping them. We're making a difference.
Exactly, like you are, because you're providing something that and somebody to express.
Yeah, so themselves, and
you never know. You get these people not expressing and turn on the serial killers and stuff like that.
Correct. This could be the difference in their lives, or keeping them out of prison.
So I love the way that just goes.
But yeah, like for comics, you think of a comic book as you get a comic, you read it, that's it. But to use that medium to actually enrich people's lives,
I'll tell you what, there's no greater medium. Like as I say, I love TV and films and stuff like that there, but just to get that, we call it the gut punch.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, this is wild, colourful, and class looking.
Yeah.
It is, no. And then like in Zombicide, we go, oh, it's out there, and it's like, no, this is actually about one of the aspects of Zombicide is that there's no more established order. So the Irate are going, it's not an apocalypse, this is an opportunity.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck. And people respond to that because it's like, oh, we're doing about zombies getting shot, oh, it's good crack, and it's all set on the north, and boom, it's actually a hard
there's a real life aspect to it.
And it's like, how would people deal with that? And and you sort of have to decide yourself. It's like it's not like we completely ever endorse anything out there, but it's
people talking
about that, and sometimes talking about it's just the best thing, because not talking about it just makes it not change.
Yeah, it's still going to be there.
Yeah. So like we try and do loads of stuff like that there where it's got the gut punch, like catch you off guard.
Yeah, you don't just see coming.
There's I love the colours in this. Boom, there's a philosophical ideal there that
and you're thinking about it for the next issue comes out.
Exactly, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, and like you say, there's not many mediums that will do that. That'll actually save for going and reading like a philosophical book, or not everybody's going to go out and get I don't know, Zen out of motorcycle maintenance and take it all in and be like wow, and go and spend time with their thoughts or whatever. But if you get it in a comic book and like you say, you don't see it coming, and it's like
you don't even know what's happened afterwards.
Yeah, it's all subconscious. But like you say, you're talking about it with your friends, and then next thing they're having an in-depth conversation, and
it actually could create a political or economic or
like you
social
say,
change or whatever.
16-year-olds that's going to change how they're like, oh, I want to go, that's bullshit. I want to be a politician, and I want to go and change that thing and put
fingers crossed.
That's what you're going for.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, because there's no point doing something if you're not going to change the world,
Exactly. If you're not, what is it? If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. Isn't that what they say?
That's very true there.
Yeah. Right, we'll do a few quick fire ones before you head on. If you could send a message back to your younger self, what would you say whenever you were just
run?
Don't do it, it's a trap.
You catch me off guard by hard questions. I always like to have a good, smart answer prepared, but I don't. So I don't know. It would probably be know what you want to do sooner and get better at it quicker.
Yeah, that's a very good answer.
Just simply put, and that's not even to me, it's just to anybody.
Yeah, find your passion and just go for it.
Do it. Because there's no point sort of
fucking avoid
going out in the swally and all that. There's always room for a wee drink and all, but just find what that buzzes you up and
do it. Love it. What's the number one best thing about being your own boss?
Well, you know what, the creative freedom.
Yeah.
Because I know that a lot of people are probably working for other people and have to change it for what people say, because I've had to tell people what to change.
Yes.
And do but when it comes to what I want to do, I have full freedom.
You can do whatever you want.
I can. So if I think this is going to be scary, ballsy, stupid, I may go, fuck, I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah. Sometimes you need that, like take away the safety net.
Yes.
And see what you can do yourself.
That's when you find out who you are. And
exactly.
You just throw your chips in. What's the number one most common misconception about being your own boss?
Everybody thinks, I always get sort of the mates, right for a drink a night. Yeah. I can't have to go on here and work tomorrow. Sure, you're your own boss. You can go on at any stage. It's like, that's it. You work 10 times harder because you're your own boss.
Exactly. That's your time actually is your money. You know, if you're,
exactly.
if you're not working,
you
you're
can't
not
just
making money.
like once everybody clocks out and their day jobs, whatever.
Yeah.
That's them. That's their free time. But my free time is actually Uproar's too.
Yeah.
So that's the misconception. Yeah.
Whenever you hear the word successful, who's the first person that comes to mind?
I don't know. The weird ones. I had a couple of names. It's like sort of Neil Armstrong, Aristotle.
Yeah.
The people who create a lasting legacy.
Yeah.
People whose names we know but they're dead millennia.
Yeah.
Just people
Great
like
answer.
That.
Pythagoras.
Exactly. He see all the triangles and all.
That must be what it was. When you think of the word punchable, who's the first person who comes to mind?
It's probably me.
Yeah. Your own worst enemy.
Yeah, pretty much. Like sometimes I feel as if I am the most punchable person because I'm like, I must do that now. And that pause is why I think it's like, oh. And then I'll repeat it to myself. I'll go, right, I'll do it now.
Yeah.
In a wee minute. So I'll do it in half an hour. I'll get my dinner first.
Yeah.
That.
Jen, I'll tell you that like there's a t-shirt I seen this is going to get me. It says, when you ask a man to do something, he'll do it. Don't remind him every 6 months.
You will.
It's completely me. Like procrastination is the worst. Wee quick one as well. Would self-criticism be something that you would suffer from?
I'll tell you what it was. We would work a lot together, me and Kevin, when we're coming up with stuff, and it's not to be critical. It's sort of like. It's more to be competitive, going, I can make it better.
Yes, yeah, you want to make it better.
And they always like, and somebody will go, it's good, but
yeah, and
do it better.
It's like, I can do better.
And then so it's not about being critical. It's about
being in yourself that you can improve it.
Yeah, I'd say being self-critical is the best thing to have in yourself, but sometimes it can go too far. You go, I can't do that. No, blah, blah.
That could be just a positive way of being self-critical.
I think just
to be able to critique it and step back.
You have to be able to critique everything, because if you don't, so you're not going to do anything better after that.
Exactly. What books do you always recommend to friends?
Watchmen.
Anything on there?
Pretty much anything on there. If you've got some friends who are like about, I don't know about comics, don't tell him Almer because he's hardcore to read. Like, first of all, I wouldn't give Prometheus to someone who's never read anything before, and that's because that's just like trippy LSD mad stuff going on. People go, this is the kind of stuff you read. But no, read Watchmen first actually, because that's hardcore, like really good.
What would you say would be, what's your entry level if somebody says, I don't know about comics, what's the one you'd say, read this?
Right, there is one, it just popped in my head. It's Brian K. Vaughan. It's Pride of Baghdad.
Okay.
And it's an amazing story. It's about Iraq during the American, whatever you want to call it, occupancy or whatever. But it's about a zoo that got bombed. Okay. And the lions get out, and it's about them just reigning free around Iraq. Around Baghdad specifically, and they all talk, and all like for example, one of the sort of like sheiks' houses or something they walk into, and there's a bear been living there, and he represents like a political tyrant and stuff like this here. And it's all this, they're animals, but they all represent an aspect of humanity.
Yes, this is all.
And it's really like, I'll not even mention the ending because the ending I might cry. And it's just a mind-blowingly simple book. It's like Lion King with a political edge. And it's a nice, because you probably know by now, I like my sort of hard-edged analogies across stuff.
Yes, you like to have a underline.
Subtext is always there. He's really good at that. And another book he does, Why the Last Man. Beautiful book. Simply.
I have heard of Why the Last Man, actually. I remember that's why I got into Preacher. There was some magazine had the top 5. There was, is it 1,000 Bullets or something as well?
100 Bullets.
100 Bullets,
it's like an anthology sort of one,
Why the Last Man, Walking Dead, Preacher. It just is like, if you haven't read comics, read these. But
because you'll see the high caliber stuff there.
Accessible to
Yeah, why is this so easy? I'll tell you what, it's really nice art, really simple and realism. So sometimes people don't like
the really trippy
maybe
stuff.
Some people won't even like animals talking,
Yeah.
Like so maybe Why the Last Man on the Neck for people like that would be better. But it's just a really nice story, and it's like got so much heart on it.
Yeah.
And you connect. But I'll tell you, probably the best book out there, though, now that I think about it, is Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like my sister would never in a million years even look at a comic, and I was like, just give it a go. Just give it a go. And I got her the compendium, and she was like, I'll never read that. And in one sitting, she had read 3/4 of it, and she was like, oh my god, I blasted through it.
Yeah, she
was like,
herself in it.
Exactly, and she completely loved it. And because it's I think it's really bite-sized, because it's like, there's no 9 panels, constantly every page or whatever.
Yes.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, it's big impact pieces.
Yeah. It is like,
you can really run through it.
And then big, nice, excellent turnovers and stuff like that, where it surprises you.
You literally can't stop.
Like I remember I think it's one of the first issues or whatever, is when the Spade had something they had. It's the first splash page, possibly, even though I'm not even sure. But I remember
the impact is
it's like
instant.
So it's really good storytelling.
Yeah.
Excellent storytelling, and I think it's just sort of that human touch. Yeah. Because it's just humans trying to survive.
Yeah.
It's a soap opera.
Yeah, but zombies.
Yeah.
That's what they're going for. And what's the next step for Uproar Comics? You're saying there's not, apart from everything else that you're doing.
Apart from everything, well, I'm constantly thinking about, as I mentioned, possibly something called the Uproar Initiative, which is going to actually be running to help kids get involved in comics, and probably as an access on the convention circuit.
Yeah.
So that's something brewing up in my head.
We'll keep you all posted on that. That's
hopefully I'll have a pilot scheme running next few weeks. So
very good.
We'll let you know about that. And just in general, getting sort of more comics out. I mentioned another Belfast boy, John McFarlane, who's amazing. I love you. He's done the first lot of pages for Stranger, which is a western, but again, my analogies, it's all set in the afterlife, so it's all sort of, I don't want to give away too much, but he's doesn't know why he's there. All he can remember is that the opening lines is he shot, I shot, and I woke up here, and that's it. He's just in the desert and walking around. But it's weird, he's talking about Einstein and stuff like that, so you don't know.
Is that like Homer's peyote trip in The Simpsons?
It's probably close to that, but a wee bit mental, because Beth's involved and
I like
stuff like that. So it's got, like, simply put, it's got angels and skyscrapers and demons, and it's all set in the afterlife, where it's just like there's spoiler alert, there's an actual ghost town
in the afterlife.
So there's wee puns. It's essentially, it is a comedy.
Yeah.
Just dark because it's a wee bit. It's not even dark. No, it's just because it's a wee bit weird.
Yeah, doesn't take itself too
seriously.
Need
that exactly. You need that sort of better comedy for this essentially disbelief and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's just it's edible.
Yes,
You don't eat the comic, by the way. It's more ingestible.
We're not condoning eating comics. That's when's for issue 1, or is it?
No release date. It's just in the process of being made. We're not rushing on it to get it done. We're going to get it right.
It's just nice.
So I'm kind of hoping the next few months it'll be out there. Hopefully by the time there's a festival in Derry called the Comic City Festival, which is the successor to the 2D Festival, which is sadly ended there a few years ago. But it's called Comic City Festival.
Any date on that?
That's the 12th and 13th of September.
Very good.
So that's there's not much information on it right now, because it's all sort of it's still happening.
I take it there's a website and stuff you can.
Not yet. That's what I mean. Okay. But there will be the same guy running the 2D Festival, Dave Campbell. He's the man.
He's the mastermind.
He is the mastermind, and it's all free. That's
even better.
It's always been his
his thing, just to get
we were sitting beside Charlie Adler and sort of like all the biggest names of the day, and every other convention you go to, you have to go on and pay 20 quid or something to get signed stuff. But kids can just walk up and go and draw me a zombie, and there they are. That's class. Because they get everything. It's like it was a really, really good sort of like community based thing, because everybody ended up in the bar afterwards. And like the artists sitting around, everybody who got the sketches later on, like sort of
the way it should be.
Yeah, it was really good. So keeping the spirit of that, the comics that I use should be like class.
We'll keep us posted on that as well. Danny, thank you so much, man.
Thank you for having me.
We'll keep you posted. Peace.